Hello everybody, welcome to Queener Show again. Hope you're having a great day wherever you are. So today we want to talk about Bakkt, B-A-K-K-T. What is Bakkt? Why is it taking the world by storm? Why is everyone in crypto talking about Bakkt? Why is it that Bakkt is even bigger news than ETF, yeah? So we're going to talk about that and its advantages, its disadvantages, and what's the implication for you, yeah? Let's get into it. First up, right? Bakkt origin, B-A-K-K-T actually is coined from the word backed, B-A-C-K-E-D, which means, right, is like asset-backed securities, which means is highly trusted instruments, yeah? That's the origin of the word backed. Now, what is its mission? Its mission is actually to bring trust and utility to digital assets. Digital assets being such a new invention in the world, and a lot of people still think of it as a lot of people still unaware, and even if they're aware, they are still skeptical about this, right? That's why a lot of people are not yet invested, or they don't know much about digital assets, right? Or even Bitcoin, right? A lot of people are still afraid to actually get into this space because of a lot of misconceptions in the past, right? Among others, it's like, for example, as in its early days, it has been linked to criminal money. That's the only instrument that's being used to buy drugs or anything that's illegal off the internet. There's a website actually set up called Silk Road, where everyone is transacting on that website using Bitcoin at that time, right? And of course, that website has now been shut down, but there were a lot of all these misconceptions, a lot of stigma that is tied to Bitcoin and digital assets. But Bakkt's mission is actually to revert all this and kind of to set it fresh and to bring trust and utility. And how they plan to do this? They plan to integrate the consumers, right, institutions and merchants in a seamless manner for them to very easily to buy, to sell, to store, and to spend digital assets or cryptocurrencies in a global manner. So they provide the platform to enable, consumers, institutions, and merchants to buy, to sell, to store, and to spend cryptocurrencies. And that is very key, yeah? Now, one of the big thing that why is Bakkt such a big phenomenon, especially in the crypto frontier, and why people say, right, Bakkt can be even a bigger news if it happen when it happens, is even a bigger thing to ETF, Bitcoin ETF, exchange traded fund. Why is that? One of the major factor is because it has a lot of heavyweight investors and partners. First up is actually Intercontinental Exchange, or in short, ICE. They are basically the owner of New York Stock Exchange, right? The second largest stock exchange in the world today by revenue size, yeah? And New York Stock Exchange is a huge stock exchange in terms of for example, just to give you a sense, they handle or they trade 25% of total equity transactions globally. So they are huge. Also, ICE, right? They have stakes in the major trading commodity futures, right? Including like cotton, sugar, oil, yeah? So they are definitely very big in the world of investing, in the world of institution clients, and they really know investing, right? Now, the owner and the founder behind ICE, his name is Jeff Sprecher. He is actually, right, he is very famous because he was the one who actually created the electronic trading that we know today, right? And what was it before? Before that, it was literally the traders, right, shouting from floor to floor, right? There is outcry system where the traders actually shout from one floor to another to execute buy and sell orders. So it was called an outcry model, right? So Jeff Sprecher, is the guy who actually turned it around, and he was the one who created automatic trading. So he was the one who bring automated trading to Wall Street, right? Now, and he has been very, very famous. Why? Because he has delivered growth and profitability to the shareholders of ICE, and that's why he is well loved. The track record in terms of returns to the company is 24% year on year, and he has a long track record of executing. So it's amazing. So he has the foresight to see what is the new and upcoming trend, and his ability to execute as well. So that's why, him of all people start this Bakkt company is really give a lot of credence to this space, yeah, and hence he can also attract a lot of heavyweight partners and investors like Starbucks, right? Starbucks, everyone knows, is a huge name, right? It's really truly, no one would not know Starbucks in the consumer retail space, yeah. And with the Starbucks coming in, right, they basically want to make it very easy for consumers to actually spend cryptocurrencies, right? Using the platform of Starbucks. That means people can, in the future, buy coffee just using your cryptocurrencies. And this is debunking a lot of the, objections that a lot of people has that says cryptocurrency or Bitcoin is not money because you cannot even use it to buy normal daily goods like a coffee. But now you can. Very soon in the future, you can, yeah? Next, another early partner in Bakkt is Microsoft. Microsoft, again, is a huge name in the world of technology, and it is expected that Bakkt will use the cloud platform offered by Microsoft. And also, right, it is expected that in the future, Microsoft will also accept cryptocurrency as payments for their products. Next up, BCG, Boston Consulting Group, one of the huge names in management consultancy, also lend their brain, their talent to Bakkt, yeah? And the most important news of all was actually early in January this year. Bakkt got its second round of funding of 182.5 million US dollars. And among others, there are one company who invested is Horizon Ventures, who is backed by Li Ka Shing. And Li Ka Shing is actually the richest person in Asia, right? From Hong Kong, yeah? So hence, is huge. These partners and these investors really lend a lot of credence, and a lot of expectations now are on Bakkt's shoulders to actually deliver. Now, what is his first product? His first product is actually a one-day physically delivered Bitcoin futures. Now, you might ask then, oh, we already have Bitcoin futures. Yes, that is exactly true. We have Bitcoin futures, and that is actually introduced by CBOE and CME back in 2017, yeah? But the difference is that, right, those futures that were launched in 2017 by CBOE and CME were fiat settled. What it means is that at the expiry date of the futures, basically futures is an instrument where, two parties enter into agreement to say, I will buy and someone will sell the contract, right, at a pre-agreed price, right, and they will deliver that in a specific date in the future. But at that expiry date, the contract will be settled in fiat, meaning cash or money that we know of today. But so the uniqueness of Bakkt is that this product that they're going to introduce is going to be the first one in the market. At the expiry, the buyer, right, actually will receive the Bitcoin in its physical form, right? Now the thing is, if they don't want to keep it in its physical form, Bakkt will provide the warehousing facility. So that means they will able to provide this custody or safekeeping facility of your Bitcoin, which means the private key will be basically held with the clients, but basically, they will provide all this facility to safeguard. Think of it like a vault system, right? But this time is to safeguard the Bitcoin, yeah. So that's why it's so unique. And that means to enable this product, Bakkt needs to buy actual Bitcoin from the market. And that is why everyone is very bullish of this development. Yeah. So what are the benefits? First is actually, right, that it gives a lot of legitimacy to Bitcoin and digital assets, cryptocurrency overall, because now you have, right, basically Bakkt will be federally regulated. This is huge because that means, it will need approval from CFTC, yeah, which currently is still pending because of the government shutdown in US, right? So it will come and they will need to be approved before they launch this. So the thing is, when it opens, then we'll have to just wait and see when exactly is the launch date. But definitely it will have to be approved, then only it can be launched. And with so many big names behind it, right, it's just a matter of time of when it will be launched. It's not a matter of if anymore, but it's more of when, right? So when it is launched, definitely it will give a lot of legitimacy to the whole space of cryptocurrency, because now you have very, very big names behind, this asset, this very new asset class and this new invention, which initially it has been tied to a lot of it's always bad associations, right? Criminals, gambling, crashes, extreme volatility. But now you have a lot of big names, Starbucks, ICE, New York Stock Exchange, Microsoft, right? BCG and Li Ka Shing coming into this space. That means, right, they are not going to let it fail, right? And from now on, it's going to be very professionally managed. That you can be assured of, right, with such big names. So definitely very high confidence and very legitimate, yeah? Second, the thing is, with regulations in place, and they also will have the custody services, means the safekeeping services, a lot of institutions are expecting to pour their money into this new asset class. There were a lot of surveys already done that says asset managers are looking just how they want to invest money into Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. But the thing is, there is not yet a right instrument that is in the market. But now with Bakkt, it gives them the avenue, it gives them the passport, right, to basically enter into this market. And this is huge, yeah? And last one, right, it basically will help to reduce volatility in the price of Bitcoin and the major cryptocurrencies. Why? Because now, right, if investors are not happy with the price, they can always, place a hedge, right? Because yes, it's always uncertain. Any investments which has higher returns will have high risk, right? And especially in this new emerging asset class, the risk is even higher. But for now, with a futures product, investors who want to hedge, they can use these instruments to hedge. Basically, they can hedge themselves, right, for any downside. So they can do this, and this will definitely bring a lot more stability to the price, right? And that's why institutions like pension funds and endowment funds will basically need the high priority to safeguard the money of their investors, can have more confidence now to put money into this space. And that is huge, right? After 2017, early 2018, that bull run was led by only retail investors who are largely unsophisticated. But now, really, so that's why, because of Bakkt, it is highly expected that the next bull run in cryptocurrency will be led by institutions. And that is huge, yeah, because institutions have trillions and trillions of dollars. It's nothing compared to the retail investing money that was poured into the market. And can you imagine today now, the whole cryptocurrency market cap is only about 120 billion, yeah, and Bitcoin itself, the market cap is only probably about 50 to 60 billion, so it's about half of the total crypto market. That is really is tiny compared to the stock market, and of course compared to all the institutions' money of $1 trillion, right? So that's why the potential upside is huge. Now, what's the disadvantages then? The thing is, a lot of the Bitcoin maximalists, right, or the crypto maximalists, they think that cryptocurrency or Bitcoin should be decentralized. That means, right, you shouldn't have one centralized party that have so much control over these assets, because with Bakkt, yes, they will be the central party to safeguard a lot of the assets, because institutions will really rather not deal with, all these private keys and all these assets. They will rather just, have someone who they can trust to handle all this admin work, so to speak, right? As long as they can trust this counterparty, then they are cool. Now, the thing is this, unfortunately, right, the Bitcoin has been created already 10 years, and last few years it has been in the mainstream. And unfortunately, the space itself has largely still been not very professional. There's a lot of still infighting, there's a lot of like name calling on social media platforms. And that has largely, right, made it very difficult for the whole space to go mainstream, right? So in a way, I do see some credibility and I do see some need for a big institutions, right, for big names to come in and right to lend that legitimacy, that stamp of approval to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, so that it can really push this new invention to the mainstream. That's what I think. But yes, there is some elements of centralization here. Yes, and that's definitely also it is a honeypot because of so much assets in the Bakkt exchange, right? Then definitely it will attract hackers. But yes, they just have to step up those securities, right? But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, for it to bring to mainstream, for it to benefit many, many more people, they just have to, at least at this point, we have no choice but to bring in big institutions, big investors, big incumbents already in the space to actually, lend their name, lend their stamp of approval so that we can, really unlock the transformative potential of real Bitcoin, right? And hopefully in the future, my point is that, hopefully in the future that, when there is some ways that when it's more stable, then if there is some ways to make it more distributed, more decentralized, by all means, the community can then lead that efforts. But for now, I think for it to go to the next level, right? Because if something doesn't grow, it will eventually die off. I think we really need something like this to push it to kind of the next catalyst for growth, yeah? So lastly, what happens is that I would say that, so what does it mean for you, right? What is the implication for a normal people and for it can be for you as an investor or it can be for you as a consumer. Let's talk the investor first. Now, I'm an investor myself as well. So I do believe that, Bakkt when it's launched, it will be a great news, especially when it's announced that it's going to be launched and when it's launched the first day, I think that's when the price of Bitcoin and major cryptocurrencies will really rally. But I think when actually, when the at some point, but I think there will be a time when actually institutions might be a bit slow in putting their money first. It might take just one institution to start off, then there will be a whole load of institutions following. But for that first institution to come in, it might take a while. I really think so. Because, honestly, they really need to benchmark against other institutions. And if no other institutions are putting in their money, everyone is also a little bit scared. Although they all want to go in, but no one really want to be the first. That's that danger as well. But I do see at some point, someone has to start. And someone brave will start and then everyone else will join in. Now that's when the prices will really rally and then the investors who see it, they will also join in, right? But of course at some point then it will peak again and that's probably then investors like you and me have to be careful as in when it will be next bubble and we have to get out in time. That's really what I think, yeah. Now, but overall, I do think this will push it to the next level. Also, then it's really very good. For a consumer, I do think, as you really gain a lot of benefits because now it will be very easy for you, right, to actually just use your cryptocurrencies, right? And especially for millennials, they are very used to dealing with digital products, right? So this is definitely a good means to transact. Not only that, right, I also think that for the merchants, you can also save a lot in terms of your fees that you can now pay to, that, you have to pay now to Visa, Master, and the banks. Definitely those fees can be saved. Yeah, so that is, I think, very good for everyone in general. But definitely for investors, I do see this as a real big catalyst. Yeah, now we just have to wait for when it will be launched, right? After all, it has been delayed a few times, but no choice. I mean, they better get it right? Because so much expectation are on their shoulder, and really they're just waiting for approval. But the good thing is they have on and off have come out with very transparent communications on what they are doing. So that's really good news. Yeah. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Thank you so much. And I hope to bring more episodes like this where I really just want to educate everyone, right? Get a quick snapshot of what something is. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching and hope you enjoyed this. And please subscribe and share this around. Thank you.